Arsenal 1, Liverpool 3. An absolute beatdown. A dominant performance from Liverpool. It could have been 4. It could have been 5. It could have been 6. Liverpool tonight asserted their superiority. Poor decision-making tonight. Hugely poor decision-making this evening from Mikel Arteta. He dropped his new defensive centre-back signing in Gabriel, a player that Arsenal fans had said reminded them of Sol Campbell and Rio Ferdinand. He didn't play Dani Ceballos, who's the only real creative player they have. And between El Neni and Xhaka, they did absolutely nothing in the middle of the park. And that was really telling. They did score a goal, Arsenal, tonight against the run of play. A terrible mistake from Robertson, another defensive mistake from Liverpool this season. But they posed absolutely zero threat. Zero threat at all against Liverpool. And they were picked off, and it could have been more. Congratulations, by the way. The super chat just says it here to Diogo Jota for his first goal for Liverpool. He says, I'm a Wolves fan who is gutted to see him goal, but all the best, Diogo. Well done. He come on and put the cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. But overall, it was a dominant, strong Liverpool performance. The marker has been set. They are still the best team in the league. And they did that tonight, by the way, without Jordan Henderson, no Thiago to come onto the football pitch. And Liverpool were in second gear for the majority of that game. And Arsenal didn't land a glove. Didn't land a glove. They need a massive improvement, Arsenal, when it comes to these big games. They did go pragmatic tonight. It has worked for them in the past. But as I said in the preview, you relied on outstanding world-class goalkeeping performances and teams being slightly off the pace. You cannot go through games. And their average before this game was 35% of the ball, 6 attempts on goal, and they conceded 16. Tonight, they had 33% of the ball. They only had 4 attempts on goal, and they actually conceded 21, and they came a cropper. There's only so long you can play that way and get away with it. And tonight, Arsenal came unstuck. I want to know how you're feeling, though, Gooners. Are you still encouraged? Are you still feeling excited about the season? Is it time to panic? Is there any criticism that you would even put upon your team or your manager tonight? I want to know. It's not about being salty. It's about coming on and having your say. Do us a big favor before we go any further. Please hit the like button right now to support the Football Terrace. Hit the share button as well. We're going to get some of the panel on now. Here we go. Evening, everyone. We've got Agal and we've got Elite KJ here. They were on the live stream with us. O'Shea joins us. We'll go to O'Shea first because we haven't heard from a Liverpool fan tonight. Give me your overarching thoughts on your team's performance and how you beat Arsenal tonight.
Bro, the performance was incredible. I want to say a shout out to Jota because, bro, that guy comes on the pitch with like 10 minutes to go. And from the get-go, he's applying pressure on Arsenal's defence. He almost got a goal if it wasn't for Salah's greed. And then he actually gets bro, Jota's going to be a baller. Watch him under Klopp. Few more months under Klopp, he's going to be putting pressure on Mane and Salah for that spot. But yeah, the performance today was good. We were applying pressure. You know, we weren't dropping down deep. We kept going at Arsenal. We kept applying pressure. And I think it was a deserved win. But at the same time, what I will say for Arsenal is I understand where they're coming from when they're saying there's an improvement in them. Because if that was Arsenal under Emery, that would have been 4-5-6-0. So you have to give up.
I think there's some fair points there. I'm going to do some super chats here because we've had loads come through. I need to respect these super chats. First one says, I'll be very honest. I think we played good today, barring individual errors. It's okay to be losing to such a pacey and strong Liverpool team. No complaints. Kieran here says, DT and that lot blaming the ref. That's weird playing out from the back with a three men in your box. Jota is a baller. Great backup for Mane and Salah. What I will say, though, about that is tonight, you nearly scored 3 or 4 goals from catching them passing out from the back. That reminded me of Emery is Arsenal very, very much. Love your show, but I like I said, Laka is trash. Hashtag Red Devils. Yeah, he did miss an absolute gilt-edged chance. Aubameyang was non-existent, is what Brendan Thomas says here. Again, you can't deny that. Aubameyang was not worth the £375,000 record salary per week tonight. Jay Bruises, people say it's clear to see Arteta's philosophy, but if that was Ollie, we would say no tactics and he's a PE teacher. And on tonight's performance, you've got Arsenal didn't look like they knew what they were doing tonight. I didn't see shape. I didn't see coherence. I didn't see a plan. They were trying to play it from the back. It wasn't working. They continued to do it. Like we wrecked United the other day by saying, why didn't we make a change when Marsh was getting all that space? Tonight, I didn't see any attempt to do anything different. He brings Ceballos on and they start playing a bit more ball. Why didn't he start? Alisson is a beast. Aubameyang had a stinker. Pricey here says Jota's goal was not handball. It hit him above the sleeve, so it does not count. People need to read the laws. You're absolutely right in saying that. It wasn't handball. That's been confirmed. London is still red. And we've got another super chat here. Says Igal saying David Luiz is better than Joe Gomez. Needs the Anita treatment. Mate, listen, I'll make you right on that. Some of your claims before the game really did bite you in the backside. I want to go to Igal now. Obviously, you predicted before the game began that you would win 2-1 tonight. What went wrong for your team?
Listen, Lacazette had the chances to tie up the game. And at that point, if he would have tied up the game, it would have been a different game. So Lacazette does have the blood on his hands for this loss. Even though we didn't play amazing, Lacazette has a lot to blame. In addition to Bernd Leno, we realized that Martinez is a different keeper to Leno. Leno is the kind of keeper, he doesn't come to collect the ball. He waits in his box for that shot to come in. And we got used to Martinez coming out, collecting the ball, and eliminating the chances from the other team. Where Bernd Leno allows the ball to come in, and you know what? That's one of those situations where the second goal happens. And right now, I'm not happy, bro. I'm not happy. I can't really come out here and defend the boys when they lose 3-0. But one thing I will tell you is, at the 80th minute mark or 79th minute mark, I knew we lost our chances at that point, because at that point, Lacazette's already come off the pitch. We had 2 chances with Lacazette. At that point, it's dead. The game's done. And for them to score that third goal, it just puts the nail in the coffin. It wasn't that bad of a game. Performance-wise, it was terrible. But when you think about the score, it was more of a 2-1.
I think what would annoy me as an Arsenal, if I was an Arsenal fan tonight, is the fact that although Liverpool, for me, outplayed you from pillar to post in every area of the game, in every territory, you were still in it. And there were moments tonight, 2 corners you had near the end, and your record signing it wasn't even not beating the first man. Awful. As an example, you had El Neni on the pitch. I don't get why. Your manager dropped your brand new centre-back that you've signed, which tells people he ain't kind of ready as it stands right now. That makes no sense, Terry. It was awful tonight. And you're only in the game for me because Liverpool literally played in second gear for the majority of that game. We'll go to KJ anyway. We're going to add some more callers. Everyone we added, no swearing, no nothing like that from you tonight. Next on the show, we're going to add is young Samuel, who's a gooner, and we're going to add Sonny from Sonny Unfiltered. Sam, first of all, I want to hear from you, young man. You were gassing Arsenal. You got slapped tonight. What are you thinking, mate?
There's one problem, Terry, and that's Zoolander. Zoolander at right back, Hector Bellerin. Because he was out for some of the things today. I mean, I think we all know Bellerin is not good enough, but right now, for the rest of the season, I don't want to see him playing at right back because he's the odd one. I know all of them were horrible today, but Bellerin takes the spot of being the worst player. I've been frustrated with him for so long. And you know what? Aubameyang as well. I mean, he was never in the game. We never saw anything from Aubameyang. Mikel Arteta today, selection. I mean, when Danny Ceballos came on, he was playing those through balls. I mean, if Ceballos started, we could have had a different result. But Lacazette as well. I mean, in the 70th minute, if I was Aubameyang, he scores that. But Lacazette, I mean, he just scored in every single game he's played in, and you would expect him to put that chance away, and he never did. And from then onwards, we were never going to score. And it's a tough one to take. It's just pure frustration today.
I hear that. Sonny, I mean, you've seen your team lose. I know that a lot of Gooners are sort of defending it by saying we weren't expected to win. But do you expect a lot more in terms of performance from that? I mean, you seem pretty gutless tonight overall as a team. Lots of mistakes, lots of bad passing at the back, zero cutting edge going forward. Do you expect more regardless of who you're playing?
Well, you said it yourself in that intro. Hello, everyone, by the way. When you say that Arsenal fans, we didn't expect to win, that says it itself. When you go to a game you don't expect to win, you won't get nothing out of it at all. And I think it's a game where Arteta didn't expect to win, and it was a game where he didn't expect to get anything out as well. Because if you set up with El Neni and Jack in the middle, it's only going to be one outcome. We're going to lose. You don't trust your new signings. If they're ready or not yet, who cares? If we're going to lose, we're going to lose. Just bet the players we brought in to give us some sort of hope. They may rise to the occasion. You never know. You won't know how the new signings will play until you throw them in. Whether they'll either rise or they're going to sink. We're not going to be playing Liverpool every week. Arteta sent out the wrong message from the start. Arsenal fans are going to be lining the streets of Islington for the open top bus parade because we didn't concede 5. But when you face it, there was no fight. There was no hunger, there was no desire, and one thing Arsenal can't sign is mentality. And their mentality in the away games is exactly the same. And until they get a team of winners, Arsenal always going to be the same.
I hear you on that, mate. Before we go any further, please do us a big favor. Nearly 4,000 people watching. Please hit the like button for us right now. Don't forget to do that for us. Just hit it right now. And also go into the description below and sign up to our second channel, the Football Terrace Clips. We want to hear from you there. Gal, I want to ask you about that. Do you think you lack mentality to win these games? As Sonny said, everyone said, well, we're not meant to win it anyway. Is that the wrong attitude to have going into these games?
100%, that's the wrong attitude. Because if you can't have a defeatist mentality, you have to come into every single game expecting your team to win. Even as fans, you can have that mentality as a fan, but it rubs off on the players. So you should go into every single game expecting to win, and if you lose, then you come up and you say, "Hey, we lost." But at the end of the day, you should go into every single game as a player saying, "We're going to win today, and you guys need to pick up your performances." Because at the end of the day, when we lose, if these guys already go into the game saying we're going to lose anyways, then why are they even on the pitch? You don't want players like that. Nobody does.
Again, Liverpool could have had 6 today, easily. They could have had 6 today easily. They were in second gear.
That's true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, until the third goal, you could have said Arsenal easily could have gone on the counter because there's 2 chances Lacazette missed that we still could have got. I'm not saying we performed well. We did not have a good performance, but there was still an opportunity to get a smash and grab draw at the end of the game.
Listen, the difference is for Arsenal to have got that second, that Arsenal needs to step up a level, which even if they had another level to step up to, it's very difficult to step up a level when you're in neutral to start with. Liverpool had another 4 gears to go up. Liverpool could have taken that game anytime they wanted to and put it beyond Arsenal's reach. We was never in that game. From the second, even when we was winning, we weren't in that game. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd have been sitting there with my tea and my biscuits, smoking my vape, without worrying the world.
And O'Shea, let me ask you that question as a Liverpool fan watching that. Was there any moment in that game, barring Lacazette going through one-on-one, where you felt worried, concerned, nervous? Did you even find yourself switching off and not really concentrating on the football match?
No. There was times when I thought Arsenal may get the equaliser because until 10 minutes to go, it was 2-1. And I did think, what if we switch off? If Klopp decides to bring off Mane or Salah and play more defensively, they may get a goal back. But it was only moments. I thought that, for the majority of the game, I was very confident and comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and I hear that completely. And do you know what's interesting? This super chat here, I will go through the other super chats and read them out in a moment. Who says, Ainsley Maitland-Niles was shown up time and time again. He's way out of his depth on the left. His passing is atrocious. Saka should have been the left wing back. So bad. Do you know what I find interesting about Arsenal fans is, and I want to sort of say this without being disrespectful. You've got some really mediocre players within your squad and team, but you celebrate them because they're the best of a bad bunch. And Maitland-Niles, when you guys were going to let him go to Wolves, he then had that one good performance in an Arsenal shirt in the last year against Liverpool in the community. I've got to keep him now. It's like, you do realize, like, every now and then, like, Lingard looks decent at Man United. If that's your standard, and you're setting it here, you're never going to grow and get out of those situations. And I think that's what leads to the kind of notions today, well, we didn't expect to win. Harris here says it's still very early. No one will run away with the league this year. Listen, Liverpool
will run away with the league this year.
You think they will? I mean, are you feeling?
100%.
Are you feeling like that, O'Shea? Do you feel like Liverpool will just run away with it this year after what you've seen so far?
Thiago Alcantara. Yeah, man. Of course. I don't think it's going to be the same as last season, but I don't think that will ever happen again, or at least not for a long time, where teams will be winning by 98, 99, 100 points. But I do think there'll be at least 10 points between second and first, and so yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Go on, Samuel.
I mean, Arsenal board, they have to look at this tonight and get their business done quickly, because we are so far behind Liverpool. And
they won't care.
The penny pinching for Hasim Anwar, who's Sonny, he's one of the best midfielders in Europe. And at 40 million, a bargain price, they're still penny pinching. And now Bayern Munich potentially have interest in him. This Arsenal board needs to get the act together and just move quick.
I do hear that. Listen, I appreciate you guys coming on. Sonny, thank you very, very much. Cheers, mate. Not a problem. Young Samuel, thank you very much as well. Who else are we going to throw into this? Now, we're going to throw in... so we're going to get some more Liverpool in here. We're going to throw Samuel into the mix, and we're going to throw Ches into the mix as well. Samuel, Liverpool picked up another victory. Give me your thoughts on your team's performance tonight.
Come on. I'm going to say something quick and then dip. That was a brilliant control performance by Liverpool. I can't lie to you. Brilliant. We controlled the game for the whole game. Yes, Arsenal did have their chances, but what do we always say? Take your chances or you will lose the game. And we took our chances. Yes, the front three was immense. Even though Salah and Firmino didn't score, the pressing from the front three to put their centre backs under pressure when they were trying to pass out from the back was immense. Even Naby Keita had a very good game. Joe Gomez, coming back from injury, had a very good game. Robinson, and this is what I have to respect about Robinson, he made a mistake but made up for the mistake, made it up, and that's what you call world class. Because usually when people make a mistake, their heads drop. Robinson's head didn't drop at all. He went on and he ended up scoring a goal. Altogether, it was a brilliant performance, and the fact that we didn't have Henderson and we don't have Thiago, it just makes it a lot brighter. And personally, I thought we will lack creativity without Thiago, but they proved me wrong. My team proved me wrong, and it just shows me that Liverpool know when to switch it on in the right times.
A comment here says, I heard Igal say that Bellerin is valued at 30 million. He goes, I wouldn't even waste a £30 super chat on him. Better model than football player. Absolutely right. Cheers is with us as well. Cheers, Chelsea fan. Do you think Chelsea played better against Liverpool, or did Arsenal do a better job?
Well, it doesn't mean by better. Like, we're going off like performance overall. I say it's about we did better than them, and also I think we did better in terms of like attacking impetus. I don't think Arsenal did anything in this game. Arteta's overrated, isn't it? Like, it doesn't do what's he done like today. Like, that's different to anyone, man. If Lampard done this today, everyone will be like, Lampard out all this crap. So,
don't do that. Don't do that.
But it's true. It's true.
Don't compare Lampard. Don't compare Lampard.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Exactly.
Don't even try.
Because what? Because he's won the FA Cup.
No, because Lampard has had an opportunity and the time to not only bring in players that he needs to bring in, but he's also had 2 preseasons.
What do you mean opportunity and time?
He's had the time. Lampard has had the time to embed a system, a style of play, and a philosophy, which I don't see from his team.
He's had 3.
Wait, we really want to compare it, man.
Wait, sorry, guys. So he's had what? 5 more months than Arteta has in that Chelsea job.
That's what I'm thinking.
He has not had that much.
It's not about the months only. You have to factor in when you start at the beginning of the season with the team. You have time to embed a system. You have a time to get a philosophy.
And guess what?
Arteta has tried to do, and he's
we
gotten
finished
through.
4th, and you finished 8th. So what's your point?
Because you already claimed to have better players than us.
Away from
you should be finishing higher than us.
Away from the positions.
And also,
and all that,
we were 14th when Arteta came in.
Sticking to what you just said, Igal, in terms of in the middle of the season, you ain't got time to switch up and make your identity known and stuff. I'm pretty sure Arsenal fans were the ones saying in that same time, you can see the difference that Arteta has made. You can see the style of play. You can see what he's trying to do. So if that is the case, why can we not compare these 2 young managers? Yes, they're in different situations, but you're saying, you've said before that you don't think Lampard's the guy,
Listen.
and he's got all these different mistakes, and now you've seen mistakes in Arteta today, and now you've got to own up to them.
It's like it's 1 for
Listen,
1 for
this
the other. But back to
Liverpool
the game,
side,
yeah.
no. This
Liverpool
Liverpool
dominated.
side is a great team, and they're going to give a lot of top 6 teams and a lot of top teams in the Premier League a beatdown.
We're not talking about the big
Yeah,
guy. We're talking
don't
about
gauge
your
Arteta.
manager.
about today.
Don't gauge
Talk about
Arteta
today.
based on this, but when it comes to
We're talking
Arteta and Lampard,
Hey, Gal,
let's keep it strictly on that.
the
But you
truth
can
about today's
compare them.
game,
You can
Arteta.
compare them.
Go on.
You can compare them because if you look at Arteta, right, he's had how many years under one of the greatest managers to ever play the game. Lampard had a year at Derby, went to Chelsea, and with a transfer ban and a bunch of kids, had them comfortably top 4 for the whole season. Arteta, even though this is his first managerial role, he's been second in command to one of the greatest managers of all time, close second in command to one of the greatest managers of all time, and has done nothing at Arsenal. You won the FA Cup, but there were circumstances behind that.
What I would
Do you
say
know
as
what I'm
well,
saying?
all these managers, the Ollies and the Lampards and the Artetas, all these guys are fledglings at the elite level. Now, they've all got different backgrounds. Ollie has been a coach for a long time, so you can say he's more experienced. But if you're going to include his experience, then I don't want people discounting the fact he's won 2 league titles. If you're going to discount his experience, you get where I'm coming from. If you're going to say that he's experienced, you count what he's won there. If you're not going to count that, then that's fine. But then they're all fledglings at the elite level of the game, right? Maybe a little bit longer. They're all comparable to each other. They're all comparable.
Yeah.
And we're a couple of years into seeing them manage the big teams in the Premier League. No one knows who's going to come out on top. Do you know how I know don't know who's going to come out on top? You're all a bit younger than me. There was a once upon a time when Martin O'Neill was seen as the guy who is going to be the next big thing in the Premier League. Once upon a time, Owen Coyle was going to take over as being the Arsenal manager.
David Moyes,
David Moyes was tipped to leave Everton and be an absolute superstar, and you never really know until these things happen who's going to come out where. All I'm going to say tonight is there's a super chat here I want to focus on from Who Me. It says, no pressing from the front, so much time on the ball from the back, heads up and passing off the park. There is defending and counter, but we need to get the back-to-back with the press. And I get what he's saying here. The way Arsenal didn't press anything from the front, they let Liverpool in that regards massively.
Yeah.
They were poor at Arsenal. Nothing worked for them. And they just got to hold their hands up and say, tonight, Arteta got his team selection wrong. We've got our tactics wrong. And then the players in their individual roles made mistakes from Tierney.
And they scored off a mistake.
All of them. And a lot of the mistakes, by the way, were forced. And by the way, Gal, when you had 2 goalkeepers make mistakes against your team end of last season, you were like, oh, that's because we made them make mistakes. Tonight, you're just blaming individual error. Well, didn't Liverpool... For me, Liverpool made you make those mistakes by pressing you. And it was like, you can't really blame David Luiz having a girly little tackle, like a weak, don't I say girly little tackle? I'm talking about it was like my 2-year-old daughter making a tackle in a Premier League game. Like, that's nothing to do with anything other than that guy being trash at what he does. It really, really isn't. We've got a few more super chats to do here. I'm going to jump to them now because I want to respect them coming in. First one is again from Who Me, who says, what this pressing at the back play at the back is like a kamikaze plane. You don't do this against the likes of Liverpool. Laka is not top 4, nor is Eddie. People criticize El Neni. He was actually one of our better players tonight. That's an interesting opinion as to whether he is or whether he isn't. A comment here says, Igal saying Arsenal had chances. The first one for Laka, which he tried to chip, was offside. The second one, which would have counted, talk facts. The second one was the one that would have counted, talk facts. Okay, it might have got it around the wrong way. But listen, Ches, Samuel, O'Shea, thank you for coming.
Can I just say one more thing? Before I go? Jota. I did not expect him to come on and do what he did. Like, if you actually saw what he was doing, the pressure that he was putting on the Arsenal defense, and the fact that I'm a little bit angry that Salah tried to take the goal off him, but Salah is selfish and he has a right to be selfish. However, Salah, don't do that again. But Jota, he got a goal in his debut, and really and truly, this is going to be a big signing for us to put the not have complacency in that front three. And yeah, I think he's going to take us far.
I totally get that, mate. Thank you, Samuel, for coming on. Cheers as well. Thank you as well, mate. Appreciate your opinions, brother. We've got Kai with us now. Rax joined us. Monstars in the house. Hang on a minute. Before we go any further, guys, 2 things. One, we're only on 600 odd likes. We've got 4,000 people watching. That don't equate to me. Hit the like button right now. Let's get this past 1,000 likes before we go to our next callers. But man like Zane is here. He says, we are still the best team in London. United struggled against Seagulls.
We still won the game.
I'm coming
baby.
for him. I'm coming for all
We still
of
won
them.
the
Don't worry.
game, baby.
Let them not say what they got to say, and I'm going to go next.
Rack, review the game for me, bro.
We were so good, man. We were utterly dominant in every facet of the game. We shut down Arsenal, and they created a couple of decent chances, and they capitalised on a mistake. But I think there was obvious gulf between the two teams. And I'm not throwing shade on Arsenal because they're on a different time in their cycle.
Nah,
but
throw shade, bro.
we
Played
them off the park. But yeah, I was very happy. Look,
and you did it in second gear.
Yeah, I think we imposed ourselves on the game, and once we did that, it was very tough for Arsenal. Like, people are saying Arsenal shouldn't be playing out at the back, right? The problem is that first of all, that's part of Mikel Arteta's identity. That's what he wants to play. But the alternative to that is when you've got a team like Liverpool pressing really, really high and holding a really high line, the alternative is to kick it long, right? Who you kicking it long to? You're kicking it long to Aubameyang, fine, but you're also kicking it long to Van Dijk, who's going to header it down, who's utterly dominant in the air. Gomez, who's pretty decent in the air, and both of them are lightning quick. So and then what's going to happen? Then the ball's coming straight back at you again. So it's not. I don't think people should be giving Arsenal stick for playing out the back. That's what Mikel Arteta wants to do. And also, the Anfield pitch is smaller than the Emirates, so people don't appreciate that. Our pressing game is really, really. I don't know, useful, or however you want to describe it, is really effective at Anfield because the pitch is smaller.
I've got some super chats I've got to do here. Interesting point by me that says, not sure if mentioned it earlier, but Mane was a blatant petulant elbow, got booked, should have got a red card. He knew what he was doing, didn't even go to VAR. Did anyone in here think it was a red card?
It's typical Arsenal, blaming the referee again.
If you've played football before, it's a very common thing that sometimes happens where you see the man coming, you go into shield, so you raise your elbow and then boom, sometimes you accidentally hit people in the face. It happens. He got his booking, which he deserved, and he just played the game on. Like, that wasn't a red. That wasn't a red.
Football, yeah. What happens in football?
Whenever they lose, yeah, they always find something about the referee in it. There's always something in it.
Go. Can I just say something? Fastly, guys? Because I have to go like in a little bit. Can I just say something really quick?
You go for it.
Go ahead.
Obama who? Obama what? Obama did fuck all. And William, that broccoli head. We have him for 3 more years. Enjoy, man.
He did have a stinker tonight. He really did. Thank you, Kai, for coming on just to delight us with that.
Okay, Terry, can I just speak now?
Yeah, go for it, bro. Go for it.
First of all, they had the easiest chance to score. Yeah, you let what's his name, Andy Alonso. He gave you not a goal, innit? Second of all, don't ever in your life compare our team with your team, and don't ever compare Tierney with Chilwell. They're not on the same level with it. Chilwell is now the second best left back in the Premier League, innit? I'm tired of the rubbish. You lot are not on our level. Yeah. DT, come outside, bro. You're always here when Chelsea are here. Come outside. I don't care. Come outside, DT. Come outside, innit?
This is why, monster. This is why you Chelsea fans are getting in trouble with Mandem, because of you, blood.
No, I don't care.
For your mistakes, fam. Pay for your crimes.
I don't care. It's their time to get bantered now.
You guys see this guy right now. You're a monster. You're my boy. But let me tell you something, okay? You are going to see that Chilwell is not the defensive left back that you think he is. He's going to get caught off. He's going to get caught on one-on-ones. He's going to get beat. And when he does, I'm going to be here for you. And I'm going to tell you that my boy is 10 times the player that you have. So don't ever bring it to Tierney ever again. My boy,
he's going to get beat.
Be honest. Chilwell is just the English Marcus Alonso. In a few days, you'll notice. You'll notice. Cut the crap, bro.
We can't compare the two because your Tierney boy is a
never plays. They never plays as well.
He's a centre back now. I ain't seen him play left back for like what? How many games, bro? He's a centre back, bro.
He got
always injured.
Lincoln, give us your opinions on that game, mate.
I think I need to change my predictions now. I think everyone needs to change their predictions now. When you look at how everyone's playing, it's probably going to be the most unpredictable league ever. What I predict Liverpool to finish second, and with Thiago and Jota, they may as well finish first. And the way that they played tonight, they might as well finish first. They were
not having that.
Impeccable from start to finish.
They were very.
No,
great.
it is Arsenal playing pragmatic football and playing with Xhaka and then in midfield, but they were still good. They were still very good.
Nah, they needed a red card. Still not having it. They needed a red card to beat us, man.
Nah,
They
let's
needed
be
a
honest.
red
They'll
card.
do that to. They'll do that to a lot of teams. Liverpool are really good.
They needed
side.
a red card to beat us. I'm still not having it.
Get out of here. They were gonna smack you guys.
That comment from Jay Bruce,
They
brilliant.
beat you 5-3. Don't forget, they beat you 5-3 with 10 men at Anfield.
Last season.
We got another
5-3.
call. I'm not sure where Lincoln went. He signaled if sound really bad to be fair, so probably he got dropped off there. But Indiana's now with us. Indiana. Arsenal, again, I know Arsenal fans are playing it down. I think they got absolutely slapped, in my opinion, tonight. The scoreline was just kind to them, if that made sense. You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
just like Man United won at the weekend when we didn't deserve it, Arsenal got beat down, but the score doesn't show it. And do you think Arsenal fans have got calmed down with how gassed they've been and how enthused they've been about their start to the season? Do you get what I mean? Like, likes of a gal are like, yeah, top four no matter what. Most Arsenal fans you speak to, we're in the top four no matter what. Do you think it's a long way for them to go?
Was that a rhetorical question, or? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I need an answer.
They're so far away. You touched on mentality, and then someone was speaking about the youngsters. How are the youngsters going to have a winning mentality with the way Arsenal players go into games? Like, Arteta first has got to get that into the players before a system. I didn't see much from Arsenal tonight at all, really. Liverpool just strolled through that. That was an easy ride. Arsenal fans got to calm down, man. They can't be talking like that.
I have a special message from Stroh for the Gallant Monster. He says, "Stay where you are. Give me 5 minutes."
Yeah, I've sent in the link. I've sent
We needed a red card.
Indiana.
One second, Gal. One thing that Indiana said I want to pull on there is I get you played the best team in the league tonight. I get that. So it's like, okay, we played the best team in the league. It's okay to lose to them. But all we forget any other platform, forget any other YouTube channel, anyone else. In the Football Terrace FC community, we've been saying for a couple of weeks, you've played nobody yet. You've looked quite good. You had a preseason. Slow down. You shouldn't be happy with that, but slow down. And we've had finish in front of Chelsea. We're finishing in front of Arsenal. We're back with this. Oh, when we get this signing as well, it's going to be this. The system, Arteta. I was sitting there thinking, it's too much. And I know what you Arsenal fans do because I've seen it on socials for 6 years. And I've seen it in real life for 15 years. Every year you do it, you build this up, and then you hit where you expect the crescendo to kick in, and the police come in and pull the plug out, and they're in the nightclub, and it's like, when you think the beat's about to drop in a club, imagine you're in a club and the beat's about to drop, and you're all up for it, and then the lights come on, the police come in, shut that motherfucker down, they pull the mic. That's what happens, and it's like, that's what happens to you guys every year.
They're the weakest link, Terry.
I'm pleading with Arsenal fans to slow down. Relax, and see what happens over the first 10 to 15 games before you start chatting about being back, challenging. And it isn't just finishing in front of United, Chelsea, Tottenham. It's the way you breeze. You're going to breeze past them like they're not even there. I think it's mad to think that. When
Go.
All right, okay, I was just going to say quickly, Arsenal fans are the weakest link at that club. The way they talk on social media, that is the weakest link at that club. I'm sorry, you've got to be more realistic. Know where you are. Most of us, especially older United fans, we know where we are as a club. We're not talking about we're going to win the Champions League or we're going to be winning the league. That's just silly talk. Like we all know that. You've got to know where you are. Encourage your players. It's just I just think it's crazy talk, man.
Can I back him?
Can I say something though? 1 second. Indiana, a lot of Arsenal fans actually are more pessimistic than I would say that are optimistic. You might hear a lot of the optimistic Arsenal fans, but majority of them, I would say, have been burned by the club so much that they would come into this game saying we're going to get slapped 3-0, and you know what? They expect it. So at the end of the day, when there's a performance like
one
this,
of the biggest
they don't get
platforms
mad.
on YouTube. One of the biggest platforms on YouTube is pushing the wrong narratives, man. Like
know your place.
Yes, know your place. That's exactly it.
Here's what I will actually
It's
back.
a bit rich from you, but yeah, I agree. I agree.
I will actually back Arsenal fans on this one, where it's like I feel like they've got this weird thing where they've got so many on the negative side, and then so many on this hyperbolic, super positive side, that when you got people in the middle, they get tossed into either or kind of category, and that's the problem. I think like right now we're seeing a lot of the positive guys are out in force because they've got Arteta, they've got all these different things they're looking forward to, which is fine, which is cool. You got Gabriel, Saliba, cool, Teddy, whatever, that's fine. But the issue is that they take it too far sometimes, and then what will happen is when these guys collapse, like when these players collapse and this positive side takes a hit, the really negative ones will come back in and be the dominant force again. And what needs to happen is there just needs to be a bit more balance in the Arsenal fan base. So I'm not gonna say that they're all deluded who say they're gonna win the league, and they're not all freaky and saying they're the worst club in the world. There's just two sides.
I'm just still reading the thread from this morning here from the Babs put up, and Babs was like, "What do you think is going to happen?" And there's quite a few saying Arsenal won't win, but there's a lot of Arsenal 3-1, Arsenal 2-1, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. Like I would say 85% of what I'm reading is positive to Arsenal, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like when Man United this season, if we land this week, tell us Sarr and Sancho with Van der Beek and what else we've got. When we go to Liverpool this season, I'm praying we win. I'll take a draw, and I'm begging God not to lose because I know how good they are. And I think that when I've seen all day today, we've got this, we'll pull this. I mean, even a gal changed his mind before the game started. 2-1, we're going to win 2-1. We're going to win 2-1. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be confident, but it's overconfidence I see in Arsenal fans. And it ain't about today's game. It's more about where you're going to finish this season. When, by the way, you've signed an old man in Willian, and you've signed 2 defenders who your manager don't trust yet. You signed no one.
Not only that, you signed Willian because Pepe's got to be on the bench. That's not even a joke. KG, did I call this? But when it came out, I said
you did.
When the transfer was going through, I said Pepe will be on the bench. Willian will start.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Let's be honest. Let's be real football people here.
There is because the amount of
there's nothing wrong with
you said today in the stream. You're saying today in the stream, put Pepe on. Pretty much he'll change the game. He'll do something. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, the reason why there's a problem in this is because I'm not even looking at the price tag. The price tag is what it is. Pepe can't help that. It's you again. It's the Arsenal fans again getting this player, saying that he's going to be amazing. He's going to be one of the best players in the league, and he's coming for a season. Looked okay, and then as soon as you sign a 33-year-old man, he gets benched. Do you not see the issue in that?
No, but
look, Arsenal. I think Arsenal. Go one sec, man. Look, I don't want to really comment on Arsenal's fan base because at the end of the day, they're a huge club. One of my best mates is an Arsenal fan, season ticket holder, goes all the time.
Same.
I find that he's a bit more balanced. He wasn't so sure when Arteta came in, but he's kind of on board that Arteta train. For me, Arteta is doing he's going in the right direction. He looks like the real deal. And if I had to pick a manager or one of those 3 up and coming managers who I think is going to be a success, I'd pick Arteta based on what I've seen so far. But who knows, right? All it takes is for a couple of injuries to happen. So all of a sudden you lose form. All of a sudden Arsenal drop off, and then his job's in jeopardy. But I think at the moment Arsenal are going in the right direction, and there is a lot to be positive of. The difference is you got to have that balance, like KJ was saying. Have that balance, man.
Rack's right. You've just got to give it time. I think Arteta's going to be a good manager. I really do. But you can't start talking like this for another 2-3 seasons.
But you know,
that's the point. Let him build.
This is what I'm saying. It's not about saying you're trash and rubbish. it's the element of you've gone from being literally mid-table last season to we're in front of everybody else. You haven't signed nobody yet. You're not giving it time. There's too much gas, and it's going to pop. As soon as you won the FA Cup, is the first thing I said. You guys are going to build yourselves up, and it will blow up in your faces. And I even saw you a few times in the stream ago. You were like, you were angry, and you're probably more angry at the fact that you predicted a win. And you're like, why did I say those things? We've added Josh, and we've added, I don't pronounce your name, my friend?
It's Khatib.
Khatib, who do you support, mate?
I support Liverpool, mate.
Give us your views and opinions on the game, mate. Go for it.
I just feel that Arsenal are just getting a bit carried away. Firstly, what the chat I've heard of your streams for the past couple of weeks is Kieran Tierney, he should replace Andy Robertson in the Scotland lineup. After what I've seen Salah do to him today, I don't know if that's completely true, to be honest. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Secondly, Leno, the mistakes he made today, Emiliano Martinez I don't think he's making the mistakes that he's made today. He's probably cost you the game today.
I agree with that.
And the intensity that we had is something that they think they'll be able to match, but I haven't seen. There's been the odd game, okay, over the lockdown period and since the start of the season with Fulham, okay, they've done well, but that intensity is something that is going to take a while to build into. It's like muscle memory. It's not there yet. Every game, it's not there. They have to build that consistency over time, and for that, they just need to lower the expectations a bit and just be a bit more open-minded with what they're seeing on the pitch, I think. So yeah.
No, I hear you on that, mate. I do, and it's like people always misconstrue what I say. I'm a salty Man United fan. It's like I'm really not, bro. If you watch my show like you seem to do, you'll know how much I praise a lot of my rivals. Whether it's their signings, whether it's how they play. You know, I always throw banter in, and you got to have it. But Arsenal fans, I can just see it. That you set yourself. Sometimes it's better to go in a little bit more understated, and then when you win, bask in the glory. The other way around, it's you just set yourself up for failure. Josh, I'd like your opinions, mate. It's been such an up and down start to the season for the majority of teams, barring Liverpool, which tells me that anyone who's writing off, say, Tottenham or writing off Wolves or City right now, or off the apps, or United, or off their heads,
or Chelsea.
Yeah, or Chelsea. I mean, everyone's going to come good at some point. What do you make of the performance from Arsenal tonight, mate? As a rival, I'd love to know.
To be honest, it wasn't the same old Arsenal. Like it wasn't like Arsenal that go out and play and then get smacked 4-1 or whatever. So I've got to give him that. Like he's obviously doing that same pragmatic thing that he's been doing, and it's working to a point, but it's not going to work at Anfield. Like Look, I never want to back Arsenal. Like this was the perfect remedy for me after what happened to my team yesterday, watching Arsenal just get battered. Like, I loved it. But at the end of the day, you can't really rip into them too much because which one of our teams goes to Anfield and wins? None of them. Do you know what I mean? And which one of our teams goes to Anfield and has clear-cut chances that they did as well? Like, look, they got battered, but I'm seeing something with Arteta, which. He looks like he could do something with them. That it kind of reminds me of like Poch's first season where we finished 5th, where he has a load of players that aren't his players. The difference with Arsenal is though they have signed these players to contracts, whereas Levy was ruthless and he was like, right, kapoo, everyone out like after that first summer. Whereas these guys are on long-term contracts now, so I don't know if Arteta is going to be able to build the team.
He gave Williams 4 years.
That's not true. That's not true.
3 years with an option plus.
Go on, KJ.
Yeah, to your point, Josh, about not being harsh on Arsenal. Like, I get that, and I understand that. Yes, all of our teams here that aren't Liverpool, we would have a hard time going to Liverpool. My thing is that I've seen many people who are Arsenal fans, like, not to say disrespect, but they challenge Lampard, they challenge Ollie games. And now when their manager goes up against the same teams that we get challenged for not beating or not having a good game against, he gets a free ride and free pass, and none of his mistakes get highlighted, none of his decisions gets questioned. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just saying, look, listen, yes, I believe Arteta is a good coach, but for this game, let's look at where he went wrong. Because if this was Ollie or Lampard, you're saying, oh, he's a PE teacher, Lampard's out in fact,
Yeah, it's true.
So no, KJ.
What is he getting criticized for?
Wait, you go. You know what? Hold on. KJ, I'm not even gonna lie, yeah. He's used what he's used to win other games, innit? He used the exact same teams. There's no difference in it. So I can't blame him, Arteta, for the selection that he used today. He used the
What
exact
about
same
why didn't he play
team.
Ceballos? Why didn't Ceballos play?
Can though.
Agreed.
There's no way.
Wait, did Ceballos play against Liverpool in the Community Shield?
Yeah, and Ceballos came on and put a ball straight through for Aubameyang.
They didn't even play forward from the midfield. You'd have to play Ceballos.
Monster, the reason, here's the things that I'm criticizing and I'm looking at, okay, your first game plan wasn't working, the whole sitting back thing. You changed it too late. I feel like you brought Ceballos on too late to make a difference in the game. He brought on Pepe to do what? Because you haven't changed the way you're playing to make him benefit from the tactics. Like Pepe's not a sit back kind of player. He needs to have the ball. He needs it a lot to get him going. So I'm questioning why wasn't there these massive changes in the tactics? I said, yo, they need to go forward at the back because they're just inviting pressure on them. And this is what I'm questioning. These little tactical changes that all our managers will get questioned for. Why can we not do the same for Arteta? As good as he's looking and as good as he could be, I'm just looking at, yo, if our managers are going to get questioned in the same way, let's do it the same. Let's do it even. Let's ask these questions.
KJ, I've got no worries, no problems with a manager implementing this system before he's built his team. I've got no problems with that. Right now, he's got a load of different jigsaw puzzles thrown together, and he can't make the picture. Do you know what I mean? Like, let him go out and get all the right pieces, and then you can question it.
I don't even.
This is why I say I respect what he's been doing, because he has not been given the tools that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given. He's not been given the tools that a Lampard's been given, and he hasn't been given the time
yet. You can't be saying like that you're going to do that jump. Like that you keep saying you're going to do that jump.
Let me finish. At the same point, he hasn't been given the time allowed it as these other managers have yet been given. Yes, Lampard has been given maybe half a year more, but he still has more time in the job to implement more of a game plan, more of a style, and that's what we are excited about, because we've seen a quick snap of the finger difference.
And nothing that you've said is wrong, and everyone I think in this stream right now backs you on that. The difference is when people start talking about breezing past Chelsea, past United, past these teams, like they're not there. It's when people then the rest of the message gets lost. It's like, stop talking. Like Man United with 5 games on the bounce, you're not going to see me say better than Liverpool now as an overall team, because that would be a stupid comment.
We're not.
A comment here from Nana says it often gets ignored. The work rate of Liverpool players individually, I'd argue Man City and Chelsea have better talent, but not the heart and discipline. That's where
unity.
That's why not Werner. We're going to add Stro to the stream now. Kate, thank you very much for coming on, making your debut on the show, mate. We'll catch you again soon, my man.
Bring him on.
Man, thank you very much. Stro's now with us. Stro, you there, bro?
Big man.
We ain't scared.
Big Daddy Stro.
Can I say one thing? Let me say one thing to Stro before he goes. I just want to say I didn't put respect on your team. You know what? I didn't put respect on your team, and you know I deserve this.
Terry, before Stro goes, can you bring that super chat?
He's let down and
can you bring that super chat back up? My friends, I can't pronounce your name. I apologize, but the resources. What happened to this whole Arteta's improving everything he touches? He's made all these players X, Y, Z. He's better than Ollie. He's better than Frank. Where's all that gone now?
Listen, you can lose the game.
No, you can't.
Plus, you've just made Aubameyang the highest paid player in the league. Arsenal spend money. They do. And at the end of the day, most Arsenal fans, if I sit there and go through their squad versus Man United, they tell me your players are better than us anyway. So it's irrelevant. Stro, go for it, bro. Last comment of the night before we end the stream. Go for it, brother.
Firstly, Monster, good to see you. Considering last time we beat you, you didn't have your camera on and you hit nice to see you.
You got lucky with a red card, man.
little boy, I'll deal with you in a minute. Igal, where did you say we were going to finish exactly?
I said you guys were going to finish 4th.
And where did you say you were going to finish?
5th.
Yeah, you should stop watching football immediately. Terry, kick him off the channel. I don't know what he's talking about. The utter disrespect that this Liverpool team has been shown. We were in second game against Chelsea. And all I heard was excuses. Oh, we've not got Ziyech, we've not got this, we've not got that. And then exactly the same thing today. All I've had is Arsenal fans on the timeline talking utter rubbish. We're going to beat Liverpool at Anfield. We're going to be the ones to end the streak at Anfield, etc., etc., etc. Before I went on from a third eye view, I seen a gal talking he's going to win 2-1. And then look what happened in second gear again. Start putting some respect on this name. I don't need to talk this Liverpool team up. They do it for themselves. You fans need to talk your team up because they're nowhere near as good enough, and you know you are because you're insecure and you know for a fact they're not the team that you expect them to be or what they are. I don't want to hear excuses about Arteta's not had the resources or the funds. He's bought 2 centre-backs. Where were they tonight? Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Arteta, exactly the same thing, game plan. Why is he trying to play out the back? The first 3 times when you get the ball caught, that's where in-game management needs to come in and you tell him to start booting it long to give yourself a better chance. Why is it in the 93rd minute you actually see Aubameyang on the left wing and a little ball over the top? You should have been doing that in the first 5 minutes. Like, come on now. Like, I don't want to hear excuses for Arteta, so both of you can just be quiet for a bit until you come and play us again. So, yeah, it is what it is.
The disrespect, well said, mate. The disrespect is mad. Liverpool, I'm my biggest rivals. But when we did the predictions, and I saw so many, by the way, most of the United people on the channel predicted Liverpool to win the league. It was the Spurs, the Arsenal, and the Chelsea that were like, and well, we don't have any C's, like that were like, no, you're coming third, you're coming fourth.
Listen, Terry. I'm not scared of Liverpool in it. You beat us. You beat us.
You don't have. You may not be scared.
Thank God to a red card. Thank God to a red card. Thank God to a red card. They beat us in it, but we're still going to Anfield, and I stand by my word in it. Pray for Liverpool. Slappings are imminent, bro. Don't worry, innit? I stand by my word. I say what I say, bro. We're winning the league, innit?
All those predictions were made before the transfer window, though, because I'm thinking there's no way. I was thinking there's no way that I'm thinking that there's no way Liverpool can have this impeccable injury record 3 seasons in a row. So I was thinking, and I was hearing all rumors about FSG. Oh, they can't sign players and all that. So I was thinking, do you know what? They'll come top 4, but they won't win it again. That's now I've seen, like, you've got Thiago, Jota comes on and looks amazing. Like you're winning the league, innit? In my opinion, you're winning the league.
Only YouTuber out there that said Liverpool actually had money. They were finessing everybody. No, Terry, you're wrong. James Pierce said no. Reddy said no. Klopp said no. And we got no money. We're poor. Told you had money. Always going to happen. Come listen to. Other than on Man United, I always predict them wrong. Every other club transfer predictions, I get bang on. So if you're not a Man United fan, right, you want to know what's happening with a club of transfers, come see your dad. So
I want to do the predictions again before when the transfer window.
Let me just explain. Monday, when the transfer deadline day is on, I'm streaming pretty much all day from 5 a.m. till when it shuts. After it shuts, we're doing a big show. All you guys coming on where we'll be doing the new predictions based on everything else. Christopher here says, as a Chelsea fan, I will admit I underestimated Liverpool this season. No other team looked up to challenge.
It's only the 3rd game of the season.
You know what? I underestimated.
They're clear.
I underestimated.
No, they're not.
I don't think
I underestimated
clear.
the utter versatility of their squad players. The fact that they have guys like Fabinho who can play in maybe 4 to 5 different positions if they need cover. And also their defensive areas, we keep talking about them needing a defensive signing. If Fabinho can slot in, and if Gomez can move over to the right, and if Milner can move into the left.
And by the way, Matip has stayed at the club. There was a lot of talk about Matip leaving as well. Liverpool are going to be fine after the signings they've made. Will they be clear like last year? I don't know. And the reason I say that is because there's a prediction of 60% injuries for all clubs this year based on how we're playing. Depends who gets injured as an example. But Liverpool, I wouldn't moan now if the Premier League handed in the title. I'd go, cool, the rest of us fight out for it. I wouldn't be, that's wrong. Because I know they're going to win the league. That's how I think and feel. We've got a few more super chats to do here. Before we do that, there's still 4,400 people watching in. Actually, more people watching this than AFTV's current live match review stream.
Big up to them.
Can I just say something?
Smash the like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we want to get past 2,000 likes on this. Please hit that for us right about now. Go on, Josh. Go on, mate.
Yeah, the reason that I think that they're clear, like people were just saying, oh, it's only 3 games or whatever. but like they're clear because no one else seems up to it. Like they've just come back in, and like the commentators keep saying, they're a machine. But look, City look like they don't look happy. Everyone else is faltering. There's no one to challenge them. That's why I think they're going to be.
Can I say one thing? Okay, one second, man. Monster. Apart from Liverpool, okay, do you trust any of the other teams? Like one of the things I said about City in the Champions League, the reason why I knew they wouldn't win the Champions League is I couldn't trust them to win a game. And any game they have there's a chance that any game that they can potentially lose. And what happened in the end? They ended up getting knocked out by Lyon. So City are capable of yes, they are capable of winning any game, but City are also capable of losing any game.
They are now, yeah.
At the moment, Liverpool.
And I don't think Liverpool are. I think we will lose games. We probably will lose games, but I think in terms of reliability, you can trust Liverpool to get a result in most games.
Right now, the only thing I would say again, I think you're going to win the league. I don't know if you're going to run away with it like you did last year. Because it depends on what happens. You know, we never know. At some point, Liverpool will have a regression like we've seen with City. But I actually think City's is beyond everything else. Like we were saying last night on the screen, the thing that frustrates me about City's decline is how they've lost 12 times in the same way over the course of the last 12 months, and it isn't ridiculed. Yet if any other member of the top six was to lose the same way even 3 or 4 times, it would be PE teacher, Fat Frank, you know, Arteta's, you know, putting the cones down, tactically inept, rare. Jose's lost it. Jose's toxic. But yet Pep's just left a lot. And I know he's got a great track record, but that doesn't mean you can't be criticized for your mistakes. And I think that's the element that really kind of irks me. Do you get why I'm sitting there? I'm like, it just frustrates me. Maybe it should, maybe it shouldn't, but it isn't right in there. Liverpool are clear favourites. They look like a machine. But what I will say is right about what Monstar says. You never know what's around the corner, because after the first 5 games of last season, no one saw the implosion that City have suffered since. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Liverpool, but you never quite know. What I do think's right, I don't remember the person who said it yesterday on the stream, but maybe we're now, barring Liverpool that are away from everyone right now, maybe we saw the end of the top 4, it became a top 6. Maybe now we're seeing the end of the top 6 and we're going to have a top 9 or a top half the league. Maybe, and this is the interesting thing, in another couple of years, we might all look back and go, that turn. If financial fair play gets scrapped, this idea gets scrapped. But you could end up in a situation soon where you could finish 8th and not be a bad team, like football used to be in England.
I agree. I think next season is the season. It's not this season, but next season is the season. This season is a building season for a lot of teams. So Everton are doing well. United, next season it'll be really competitive. I'm really looking forward to how the league's changing. Yeah, I think you're right.
There'll be a lot of managers' second seasons, like, you know, Ancelotti, Jose, everyone that came in last season, like halfway through or whatever, they'll have their teams ready.
Yeah. The reason why I believe Liverpool are not clear at the moment, like everyone said, is because there's not enough time. And I've seen teams before, like Chelsea, that one season they won it. They were awful for the first 10 games, and then they made the change to 3 at the back, sweep the league. So you know what I mean, like. Liverpool are the favourites. I reckon
they can have
I said the target. That's what you got to remember. Yeah. When you're the champions, you're the target. You are the target for every team to turn up. And I honestly, I had them finishing 3rd, until they signed Jota, not Thiago, until they signed Jota, because I think he's underrated. You watch how well this guy plays this season.
Yeah,
but they are the target, and that is the danger.
And that's a hard thing to deal with sometimes, and we'll see how they'll handle it. These are all new. These are all new tests for Liverpool, and it's quite going to be an amazing season. But I've been saying it for years now. This new dawn of the only thing that's not happened as part of my prediction is the teams that have won the league have been clear of everybody else. But I was saying 4 years ago, you could get into a stage where you could come 5th, 6th, but you're not a bad team. And maybe we saw the beginning of that last year where United were ridiculed for only getting the same points as the year before, but they came 3rd. But if everybody keeps improving, it's a mathematical, unless you get an anomaly like a Liverpool, it's almost a mathematical certainty that everyone gets less points, because
people don't realize
there's only a set amount of points available. No matter whatever, there's X amount of points that can be divided by 20 teams. And if everybody improves and anyone can beat anyone, everyone will generate less points. You're going to lose. You could end up losing more games. You could, if Liverpool join the rest of the pack, say in 2 years' time, you could win leagues with losing 5 or 6 games. Like football used to kind of be like that back in the 60s and 70s. I think I have to go check the league tables then, but that's when fans have got to readjust their standards. Maybe we have to get used to the fact that 3 or 4 times a year you're going to Brighton's, you're going to West Brom's, and you're getting beat. And that's just the norm now. The only worrying factor is I think it will make us weaker in Europe because all the quality in the Prem is going to be spread across 7 or 8 teams as opposed to concentrated in 2 or 3 like we used to have. That's maybe the only downside to that.
Terry, can I just say, you remember, what was it, 2 seasons ago, yeah? That Liverpool were clear, right? Do you remember? And then they went on they went on a bad run and they lost the league. If we were having this show back then, if we were having hold on, I'm not done. If we were having this show, I mean, right back then, what would you lot be saying right now?
They've proved it now, though.
Monster, do you know how many in that second half season? Do you know how many points we dropped?
And so you're telling me you can't drop them again?
No, yeah.
You're telling me you can't drop them again?
Guys, stop. Bigger news than that. Here we go.
Yep.
Alex Tellers.
Andre, no, better than that.
My God.
Wow. Look at that. 27 million option to buy. 27.
Bro, that is trust. You know what I've been saying recently?
Is it an option?
Option.
Option.
Yeah, it's an option, but that we could end up.
You get £2.70.
Well, guys, what I love about that, right? What I love about that is I've been telling people there's a reason we've waited this long to start getting our business done. Wait until the end before we reflect. And if we end up, and by the way, another thing he's just tweeted since then is Roma are preparing a new bid for Chris Smalling, which means we're going to get over 20 million for him. Them 2 things come in. Maybe a bit of a Lingard bid, or Dan James goes on loans. You're saving on salary. That covers the costs of going to get Jadon Sancho. That's what it raises the money. It's why United have waited this long, because we had to sell to buy for right or wrong reasons. But no one was going to come in for our players towards the end. So we've had to wait to put it. You know, sometimes it's like, maybe there's just logic to it and we've got to wait. We'll see what happens. Sorry to cut in. I know you guys are chatting, but that's pretty big news there from he's had loads of United news tonight. The Alex Tellers still is moving along nicely. This next 3 or 4 days, I might just call in Sickle. We can do transfer video.
The last few days are going to be stress.
I can see Dallo moving out the door. You know, I think Dallo. This is the year he's off as well.
I also think you could see Igalo go. I think you could see Igalo.
He's off in January.
Yeah, but I think there's a contract. There's a cancellation clause within that. I think if we could get someone in who Ollie thinks is good or better, that we can get on a permanent for the same sort of less money, I think they'll do it and cancel. I was going to pay a week. How much you on it? If you could bring in a Josh King as a backup for like 35 grand a week on a 2-year deal, a bit younger, I think Man United will go for that. In my opinion.
Yeah, of course they will.
Yeah, Josh, you ready? Get your boots on.
I'm too expensive, man.
Get your boots on. Get ready. You're going to be coming to United soon, bro.
At the end of the day, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be the last couple of days of the window. You guys are probably going to get Sancho. We're probably going to get Husamaruwa. And all the hype is going to start again.
Stop it, Igal, man.
What's this guy talking about? Spurs definitely have a lower wage bill than Arsenal. This Jan off.
We don't care what anyone's wage bill is in this.
No, I'm talking about the super chat. The super chat.
No, not you, Igal. Not you, Igal.
The super chat.
Yeah, the super chat.
Jesus Christ.
Igal, so defensive.
I'm literally every time someone says
it's because you build yourself up too much, Igal. You talk yourself up
way
too much.
At the end of the day, if I'm going to be the only person, it's a full-time job. I've told you. It's a full-time job.
And you do it well.
You go too far. There's defending your club, and then there's chatting nonsense in the sense of know where you are. Like, you can say, I'm really encouraged by what Arteta is doing, but you know what? I know that El Neni and Xhaka are not good enough, but they're what we've got for now, so I'm going to support them on the field. But you're like, you even did it in the game. I said to you, Aubameyang's not played well yet. You were like, I'm not even going to answer that question because you know he hasn't. You don't even want to say he's not had a good game. That's weird, bro. That's weird, man. That's a strange thing.
So it's a full-time job. It's P45, bro. Like, awful.
Do you think Arsenal finishing above Spurs then, Igal, this season?
Yeah, it's a sticky one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who said yeah? Who said yeah?
It's a sticky one,
I'd
but
say, yeah.
I think Jose Mourinho is going to have a meltdown and he's going to get sacked, in my opinion, and Arsenal are going to finish above him.
I haven't listened to this yet. There's just a little bit of silence because this could be very, very good.
You prick your
guys.
Give a yellow card for driving. You fucking cunt! You fucking cunt! That's what you fucking are!
Yo, chill out, man.
You're a cheat! You're a fucking cheat! You're a dirty cheat! Look what you're doing! Look what you're doing! You prick, you're a cheat! You're gonna book him as whatever you prick! Oh my God! You're serious! Is that serious? We're being robbed daylight! Daylight fucking robbery! No, fuck that robbery! I don't care! I don't know! Look at this shit! How can you look?
Wow.
Right there's your problem, Miguel. Right there is the problem. That is the biggest problem with Arsenal.
What did I say? What did I say, Cherry?
Do you know what I mean?
What did I say, Cherry?
America anyway.
I said they're gonna. If they're not, whenever they're not winning, they will blame it on the referee, innit? That's what they always do. Innit?
Come on, troops.
No. Listen, Arsenal fans, they're the only fans I've come across with great regularity who they know who the referee is before a game started. I never even look, bruv. I don't even. The only time I know is when the coin toss is happening because I don't believe. And by the way, Liverpool fans used to be like it in reverse, though. Drifty still got in his head that Fergie used to pay referees, and like that. Those excuses are just. You just don't want to admit that we were the best team back then. Oh yeah, you were. Then just leave it then, bruv. Like it's mad. I remember seeing the stat once. And this was years where Liverpool weren't a very good team. And it was like United get all the decisions and all the goals in last minutes and all this sort of stuff. And I remember that Sky released the stats and it was the last 10 years. And United were like brilliant in those 10 years. And it was like Liverpool had been awarded more penalties than us. They'd had more added time given in games. And they'd got only one less goal in added on time than Man United had done in that era. And it's like, so how, imagine if Man United are paying the referees, why would we be paying them to allow you to do those things? It don't make no sense. Like those kind of excuses are what I call a weak man's excuse. It's like all the people that hate Ollie that are like, Ollie saying his team are a bit slow because of no preseason. Weak man's excuse. When every other big team's losing and dropping points and having up and down performances, it's like, well, that's just because they'll find that. You get where I'm coming from? It's not a weak excuse. These things are real. Equally, in the reverse, when the team loses, you're not blaming referees. Yesterday, the decision for Spurs' penalty was ridiculous. But the reason you didn't win the game is because you missed too many chances.
Yeah.
If you scored just one more goal, that penalty becomes an irrelevance. And your strikers and attackers made more mistakes yesterday than the referee for giving that penalty.
To be fair though, the keeper had a worldie. Like it wasn't like some were put in the corner and stuff, and he made 12 saves.
But there were a few where they were like, okay, that weren't it particularly great. Like Harry Kane for me should be burying some of those chances. It's Harry Kane. But boys, listen,
out the next game.
What?
Is Kane out the next game with red card?
No, that was for one. The red card was for one of the coaching staff. It was
Terry, quickly before you go, I'm about to break some Chelsea Academy fanboys' hearts. But Frank Lampard has confirmed that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be going out on loan. The first one.
He's going to Villa, isn't it?
I love that because the amount of Chelsea fans on the delusional pages that were like, he's this, he's that. I told them all he's dead, bro. He's gone.
I told you lot he will be the first. Well, hey.
Boy, to be fair, Ruben Loftus-Cheek at Villa were banging, fam. I think he will do very good.
Yeah, it was Grealish.
The point is, he was never, ever, ever going to stay there. But listen, everyone, if Leno defended Arsenal like a gal, they would have won 1-0 tonight. Brilliant. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much. Hit the like button, share button, retweet button. Tomorrow, transfer videos from 7 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow evening, Chelsea, Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. We're live.
Joshy boy.
Wednesday, we're covering Man United Brighton again. Then it's Arsenal Liverpool again on Thursday ahead of the weekend. What a major week. What I need you all to do for me right now is, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like and share buttons right now. Like button really important. And go into the description below and subscribe to the Football Terrace clips. Loads of new clips were released today. I'm sure there's going to be loads from tonight as well coming out tomorrow. A man like KJ will be fixing it up for us. But until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Good night. God bless. And well done, Liverpool. A gal's already gone. Man's just had enough.
I'm out of here.